anybody can be on a team, right? Can be an entrepreneur on a team. Anybody can be an entrepreneur on a
Hmm.
team. But as far as being an entrepreneur and leading, and it's a tough road. Like, I had to realize at some point as an entrepreneur where my superpowers lie, and get out the way of myself and what could ultimately kill my business.
I am here now with former NBA All-Star Baron Davis and brand marketer to the stars, Amanda Brinkman. Uh, let's start with you, Mr. Davis. So I have your basketball card right here. You can't see it, but I have your 2018 Panini Prism card. And so you're a basketball player. You're an amazing basketball player. And after you retired, most athletes go and retire from the public eye, or a lot of them go bankrupt, in fact. Why did you decide to enter this realm of business and helping other small businesses?
I think for me, it was just I wanted to stay active. I wanted to have, purpose. From 21 to 30, I had probably lived, one of the most incredible like 10-year runs, right? And I got to a point where, my career was ending and I had a lot of money and I had no purpose. And I got depressed and I realized that I needed to change my life and to change my trajectory on what I was labeling success. And so with that, I went back to the D League to go play, just to humble myself in basketball. And then I like start taking internships, and I actually took a job at TNT because I felt like it would be good for me, to work and to like work my way back up into figuring out, who this new version of me would be after coming down after such a high, playing in the NBA for 13 years.
So, you after this amazing career in basketball, you go and try out a few things as an NBA analyst on TNT, playing in the D League, and eventually you go on to create a bunch of businesses, mainly helping small businesses to be successful. Why do you have like a personal anecdote about why you decided to choose business particularly?
Because business can multiply, and that's why it's like if you if you think about a cafe, right, your local cafe that can employ 12, 15 people. Then you got the laundromat next to that. Then you got the gas station. Then you got, a furniture store. Then you have, a co-working space, right? And you start thinking about that just in neighborhoods and neighborhoods that have limited resources. It's like you can actually, scale a community through business, right? Instead of just like one person being famous and having the pressure of trying to do everything for everybody.
Yeah, business is the world, and business is a great way of engaging the community, which is another huge thing that you guys are advocates for. Let's go to you, Miss Brinkman. You very quickly rose up the ranks in many creative agencies, and becoming a marketing in charge of marketing at $1 billion company. What is your secret to being so successful at building brands?
Well, I think part of it is just really spending time with the customers, truly understanding what drives people. I think in the business world, we are so data rich and we have so much information at our fingertips that we start to get lost in the numbers and forget that we're talking about actual people and human beings who have cultures that are important to them and families who are important to them and daily habits and realities to the places they live and how they live. And so as a marketer, I've just always found that's how the small business revolution came to be.
Right.
I've just always found that when you go out and spend time with the customers is when you get those real insights. And so it was when I was out meeting with small business owners that I was so moved by their stories and felt compelled to turn that into this documentary series so that other people could be inspired by those stories. Because I think when you share a business owner story, you recognize that you are
Yeah.
supporting a real person. with a real dream and a family and a community that matters to them. And so I think as a marketer, as a anyone in branding, the best thing you can do, I mean, look at the numbers, let the quantitative data guide some aspect of it, but do not let go of that anthropologic, qualitative, boots on the ground, spending time with your customers. It's the best way to really understand how they make purchase decisions and who they really are.
Yeah, I think a lot of people definitely forget that business at the end of the day is about people, just like everything is about the people who run it, the people who buy from it. And like I said, our audience is really teen entrepreneurs like me who really are determined to create and build our own businesses. And you both have interacted with tons of small business owners. And in that time, what do you think are some of the biggest misconceptions that people have about starting a small business?
That it's going to be easy. So I think, what's interesting is a lot of times people start businesses because they have a certain skill set or a passion area, and they forget that there's the running of the business part of running a business too. So you kind of have to like that part of it, or at least have the wisdom to know how to surround yourself with other people who know how to do those pieces well.
Yeah.
Maybe they can do it faster than you or have more expertise in it. But I think, I love the aspect of teen entrepreneurship, because what is so great about starting a business today versus even 20 years
Yeah.
ago, or certainly 50 years ago, you used to have to save up for a brick and mortar store. You used to have all this capital to start a business. Now, if you understand how to use search to your benefit, if you understand how to make sure you have a really strong online presence and digital footprint, search is the name of the game. If you're optimizing your site, if you're making sure you're on the right directories, if you've claimed your right listings and you're using social media to the benefit of your business, you can compete with big businesses. It is all about, speaking to the search engines and making sure that you are optimizing that online presence. And so whether you're a teen or someone who is a boomer that doesn't want to retire and wants to start a new business, I think if the businesses that figure out their online presence are consistent about it, and are really judicious about making sure they have a robust digital footprint, those are the ones that are going to be successful.
To both of you guys, do you believe that anyone can be an entrepreneur, or do you think that it's a certain type of skill set that only a few people in the world have that can allow them to be a successful entrepreneur?
I have an opinion.
I don't either. I feel like anybody can be an entrepreneur, but if I say that, then I feel like I would be lying.
Yeah.
Because you believe it, but you don't. You want to. Anybody can be on a team, right? Can be an entrepreneur on a team. Anybody can be an entrepreneur on a team. But as far as being an entrepreneur and leading, and it's a tough road. Like, I had to realize at some point as an entrepreneur where my superpowers lie, and get out the way of myself and what could ultimately kill my business, because I wasn't the right fit for that aspect. And so, but I'm an entrepreneur on the team, and now I can use my superpowers to actually work.
I think you definitely have to have a stomach for the fact that there is never a finish line. I think if you're someone who can see that as part of the work, that is what you will be working on in the business, is the fact that you're constantly iterating and optimizing the business, then I think you have the stomach to be an entrepreneur. I think it's people who feel like they can build a business and then go, okay, my business is built. Now it's just going to keep operating. That it just isn't the nature of business. It isn't the nature of how business ebbs and flows. And so you kind of almost have to have an appetite for that constant evolution. And I think if you do, and if you're really willing to work very, very hard, then you can be an entrepreneur.
Yeah. So let me go straight into my next question, which is, in all the work that you guys have done, you guys have both lived amazing lives. If you could go back to being a kid and tell yourself one piece of advice, what would that be?
Trust yourself.
Yeah, that's a very, very good question. I think it would be to understand that the parts of me that didn't make me like everyone else were going to be the parts that made me not like everyone else when I grew up. Like, I think that's the hardest part about being a teen, is that you feel this pressure to be just like everyone else. And really the secret to life is to be as unique as possible, or at least it's the secret to standing out and kind of making a name for yourself.
Yeah.
And so as teens, we're almost taught to conform and to be like everyone else and follow in that pack and herd mentality. And I just get through those years and be true to yourself, because when you get out the other side, being an adult is all about being as unique as possible. So, yeah. We hope that people watch season 6, and we wish you the best of luck with continuing to build your network and continuing to inspire teen entrepreneurs. I think your audience will like the show. They can check it on Hulu or smallbusinessrevolution.org.